So welcome guys, my name is BB and then I'm going to start PHP beginner tutorial with you guys today. So I hope we get along together. So the things I'm going to teach you today includes how to connect to server, how to create a database, and how to insert information into the database. So let's start and see how it works. So first of all, you are going to create a file with the name index.php. For you to start using PHP, it must have the extension .php at the end of the file name. So after creating it, uh, you have to write this particular code, MySQL connect, and then you write the host name, which is the server name, the username, which is the name of the user of the server, and the password. So as for me, my server name is localhost, so and then the username is root and the password is nothing. So that's the default password. So for here, I'm going to check whether the connection is true or not, whether it's connect or not. So I said if not connect, die, not connected. So when it's not connected, it will say not connected. That's all it will show in the web page, nothing else will show. So let's test whether it's connect or not. So let's test. So it doesn't say anything, that means it connects, so we can proceed to other things. So let's proceed and create a database. I'll just copy this one, uh, then paste it and change the name to connect db, which is connect database. So the same thing applies here, just that at the end of the password you add another parameter, which is the database parameter. You understand? So that's when you want to connect, maybe you have an already made database, but in the case where you don't have an already made database that you have in your server, you can create a database. Let me just comment this one out. You can create another database, which is, you can say create db, then you can say mysql query. That's for you to do anything on the server query. Then you write the connect name, then you say create database, then the name of the database, let's just say php tutorial, php tutorial. So if you want to create a database, if it doesn't exist, you have to add it at the front, if not exist. So when the database exists, it will not create the database, but when it doesn't exist, it will create the database. So let's just save it and see what happens. So that means it has created the database. So next thing we are going to do is to connect to the database. So let's just connect to the database, then I will comment it again, then write the name of the database, which is php tutorial. So after connecting to the database, we can start using the database, maybe creating a table, inserting something into a table. So when we want to create a table, we can say, okay, create table equals to MySQL. Remember, you have to use MySQL query when you want to do something with the database. Query, then connect database. You have to use connect database, which is the one that is connected to the database, already made database. And then you will say create table if not exist. If the table does not exist, it will create the table. You can say php table, php table, So once you create it, you can add some table elements there. So you can add some elements there, like okay, like parameter, I mean. So once you create the table, you can say, let's say username equals to varchar, then 225. Just use this one for the meantime till you get used to MySQL. Then you can say full name varchar. So now we have our table ready. Let's create the table. So I think it already created the table. So now we can connect to the table, we can create some things, we can input some things, we can retrieve from there. So once you want to create, we want to put something into a table, you will have to use the insert, which is MySQL query. Then the connection, you have to use the word insert. The word insert to insert something into the table. Insert into table, it's just like the basic English. Insert into table, then you write the table name, which is PHP table. You say, then this is where things get complicated. You have to write all the parameters you want to insert something into, then the values differently. So this is how it works. The parameter will be here, then values, then the values will be here. So we have two parameters, which is the username and then comma full name. So under the username, let's just insert something there. Under the username, the first one is for username, which is, let's say, Bibe. The full name, we can say Abibullah Abdulrahman. So that's my name. You can insert that one here. So let's just insert, let's see. Okay, insert table. So let's say something, if insert table, we should say something that user registered. So let's check. Okay, we have an error here. So insert into, made a mistake here. So user registered. So you insert into the table name, that's all. So once we insert, let's just comment this one out so that it will not be inserting every time. And then let's comment this one out too. So after that one, if you want to maybe get something from there, you can just copy this one, copy and comment, retrieve table, then you will say so when you want to get something, you will say select. You use the word select, then the parameter you want to select from that particular table. But if you want to select all the parameters, you can say you can use this, which is the asterisk, from the table name, which is the PHP table, Then let's see if it actually retrieves something. If then we use the word MySQL num rows to count the number of the rows it returns. So num rows retrieve so, so num rows retrieve